Hi, everybody. In my previous speech, we talked about abortion. As everyone knows, it was an informational speech, so now we're going to be changing the rules a little bit and turn it into a persuasive speech. I feel that my topic is a very huge and hot topic, but I feel like a lot of people don't discuss it because it is such a huge topic and there's a lot of toes that can be stepped on, which is very true, but it doesn't mean that the topic doesn't need to be talked about. So, in my previous speech, we talked a little bit about what exactly abortion is. There are three different types of abortion. There's the pill, there's spontaneous, which is also known as a miscarriage, and then there's induced, which is a medical or surgical procedure, obviously with the intention of ending your pregnancy. We talk about what it does to your body, the short-term, the long-term effects, what issues it could be with having a future pregnancy, or short-term effects such as hemorrhaging or bleeding or excruciating pain, cervical lacerations. There are many, many issues that come along with having an abortion. We talked about other options aside of abortion. What are the other options that you have if you don't feel like an abortion is for you? There's adoption, there's abstinence, there's birth control. There are many other options to pursue. We talked about the percent rates here in the U.S. and how they dramatically drop, which we'll be touching a little bit more throughout this speech. We also talked about what the current laws are that we have against abortion, and then I kind of concluded it with my personal opinion on why I think abortion should be a little bit more stricter. So in this speech, we're going to talk more persuading you. I personally do not agree with abortion. Having said that, I don't think it needs to be banned. I think abortion should be stricter because there are so many kids these days that are just having sex and not being responsible, and they're not ready to be a parent, and they're doing adult decisions. I think you need to, if you decide to have a child, you need to be prepared of the long-term effects. There is nothing about a child that is short-term, so therefore we shouldn't have children making children's decisions. So what do I mean about having the laws of an abortion be stricter? If you go into a clinic and say, that's it, I'm not ready to be a parent, I want an abortion. Right now, it's no questions asked. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you should have to fill out a questionnaire. If you say you can't financially afford a child, I think personally you should have to show your bank account. If you have millions of dollars in there, there's no reason why you can't afford a child. Being a mom myself, a child is not a cheap individual by any means. So I do think an abortion is wrong. However, I still think it should be offered in every state we have because there are issues that happen. Our world is not a perfect world that it once used to be. If something happens and you got raped, okay. If something happens that you're at a party, and someone spices your drink and one thing leads to another and you're not physically and mentally there, then yes, I feel that there should be some leeway with it, which is why I don't think it should be banned. I think it's a good thing to have around if you need it. Let's say you get pregnant and the doctor says, you have a lot of health problems. It's very risky, someone very personal, this is going on in their life as we speak, then I think this option should be there. If it's your life against the baby's life, very, very short term, it should be there. It should be offered in case anything were to happen. And there are a lot of risks with pregnancies. So I think, if you have to make that decision, I personally would want to make that decision earlier on in my pregnancy than further down the road. What an abortion does to your body, I feel like a lot of people don't know. And to be honest with you, I did not know all the side effects an abortion could have until I did the research for this paper. As I said, it could be hemorrhaging, it could be cervical lacerations, it could be bleeding, serious infections, and an incomplete abortion. Long-term effects, again, obviously, are future preterm births, placenta previa, and preterm babies are at a higher risk for cerebral palsy, respiratory, brain, and bowel abnormalities. I didn't know that, and I feel like that is very interesting, and a lot of people don't know. You make a stupid decision at the age of 16 and get an abortion. Here you are, 25, 30 years old. You have a family, you're settled down, and you're ready to have a child, and you run into all these risks later down the road. I'm not saying it can happen, but you're at high risk for that. And as I said in my previous speech, that there is a further investigation going on that if an abortion is an increased risk of breast cancer, which I also found interesting because I did not know that. So I think an abortion should be stricter regulations because it is a life that you're killing. It doesn't matter from day 1, day 50, day 100, it is still a life, period. So I found a good fact that I really thought was interesting. Christy Burton Brown stated in the U.S. approximately 2 million infertile couples are waiting to adopt. There are so many other options besides abortion, and adoption is one. There's a lot of people out there I personally know as well that aren't able to have kids for whatever reason, that try for years and years and years and it doesn't happen, and they don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to do all these tests that they can do to get inseminated or whatever the reason may be. There are so many people, good people out there that are willing to take on something that you might not be ready for, and not being ready for it is not horrible either. Being a mom, I'm 21, I have a daughter who's 15 months old. It is a lot of work. It's by no means easy. So I think it needs to be taken way more seriously than it is. These kids nowadays, I hear it all the time on the news. I watch the news every night. I hear it all the time about how these young kids are having babies and they're not taking care of them. They're in dumpsters, they're in microwaves, they throw them over a fridge. It's reality, and it's harsh reality, but it's reality. People like that don't deserve to be parents. Whatever is going on in their life, if they're young, and it's not just the young, it's the old as well. So that's why I think abortion needs to be a little stricter. As I said, we're going to just recap on everything. I think that it still should be offered for reasons, as in medical issues, or you've got raped, or whatever the issue might be. There are, like I said, this world is not by any means a wonderful world anymore, and we need to prepare ourselves, and we need to talk about to our younger generation about this. Another issue I think that we should be doing is making kids in high school go through more in depth about abortions in their health process. They need to watch videos. They need to learn the statistics about it, the percent rates, and what it does to your body and what it does down the road. Not a lot of kids in high school and middle school are thinking about their future. They're young. We get it. We've all been there. So that's why I think that it should be a little stricter, and our laws need to watch what's going on and try to prevent this. And like I said in my other speech about the percent rates that were going down, they went down drastically, 13% from 2005 to 2008 to 2008-2011. They went down 13% because we're offering different types of birth control now. I'm the type of person, I can't remember to take a pill every day. It just doesn't happen. I have so much going on in my life, it just slips my mind. There's pills, there's shots, there's implants, all these issues, and they're staying up to date, so they're being able to work with kids that have different needs, or adults, not just kids. So it went down 13% in 3 years, which is wonderful, and I hope that it keeps going down. So that's my little persuasive speech about why I think abortion should be a little bit stricter. By no means does anybody have to agree with me or what I'm saying. I know we all have been in our personal situations or personal beliefs, and that's okay. That's why we're all different. So that's my conclusion of abortion, and I hope you guys enjoyed my speech. And a little side note, I really enjoyed this class, and I enjoyed working with every single one of you. I think we worked great as a team for the team that I've been working with, and I just really learned a lot from this class, and I really hate to see it end, honestly. Good luck with everything, guys.